Today I'm going to do something a little different. If you're a user of supplements, you might find the video that I did about 4 years ago quite helpful. I'll leave for you to be the judge. So here it is. You've probably heard that supplements are a multi-billion-dollar industry. Nobody knows for sure how big it is worldwide, but as an indication, it is $36 billion a year just in the US. The industry in Japan is as big as the US, and China is rapidly catching up. Then, of course, there's the rest of the world, including Asia, Australia, and Western Europe, where the use of supplements are extensive. Even in Eastern Europe, including Russia, our people are embracing supplements rapidly. So, how big is the worldwide supplement industry? 100 billion? 150 billion? I don't know. I don't think anyone has done the exercise to determine the size worldwide, but for the purposes of this discussion, it really doesn't matter. The point is, it is huge. So, that then raises the question, do supplements really work? Are these tens of millions of users deluding themselves, and the only benefit they are getting from their supplements are coming from the placebo effect? If they really do work, why do we read so many stories in the media about how supplements just create expensive urine? Or sometimes we watch news items which puts a negative slant on supplements, with various studies saying not only that they don't work, but they can actually be harmful. For example, there was one study that was widely circulated for several years and still is, that says if you're a smoker, that taking beta-carotene will increase your risk of getting cancer. Recently, there was a lot of media exposure casting doubt on the benefits of fish oil for your health. And it goes on and on and on. I've lost count how many media releases I've seen that were negative to supplements over the last 16 years. When they came out, I would have a staff member do some further research into these negative reports, and the results were generally quite astounding. Virtually every bit of news about a negative study on supplements had a serious flaw. For example, the negative studies about beta-carotene and vitamin E that you may have heard about could have been expected. These studies were doomed to fail before they were even started. Sometimes that is even the intention of the people who initiated the study, and is confirmed by the way the study was designed and the ingredients they used. In the case of the beta-carotene and the vitamin E studies that I mentioned, incomplete synthetic forms of those ingredients were used. Now, what does that mean? Well, let me explain. Both beta-carotene and vitamin E are part of a larger family of nutrients and are never found in isolation in nature and never in synthetic form. These forms are foreign to the body. Beta-carotene is part of a family of carotenoids and in nature comes combined with alpha-carotene and so on. The vitamin E that was used in the studies was the common tocopherol form, which is what is generally used in most supplements. But you should not take vitamin E tocopherols in isolation because, once again, that is not how it comes in nature. It must be combined with tocotrienols, which is the other part of vitamin E. But tocotrienols are rarely used in supplements because they are much more expensive. There are many studies that prove when the complete form of these nutrients are used that the beneficial impact on the body is significant. Extend Life was one of the first companies to ensure that tocotrienols were combined with tocopherols to make up a complete vitamin E. This blend of vitamin E mimics as close as possible the vitamin E that is found in nature and is very beneficial to your health. Now that you're aware of this, you may be thinking, why are these studies conducted using these incomplete, non-natural ingredients? To answer this, you would need to research these negative studies and find out who funded it directly or indirectly. Sometimes the answer will shock you. You may find that the study has been funded by Big Pharma with the objective to have a negative result that can be publicized in the form of news items as part of a general campaign to discredit supplements. Hard to believe? Not really. When you understand that there has been a strategy for the last 15 years, largely initiated by Big Pharma, to try and stop the increasing awareness amongst the thinking public of the importance of preventative health, then it all makes sense. More and more people are beginning to understand that if they are to be healthy and live pain-free, They have to take action to avoid getting sick and succumbing to degenerative disease before the event. Taking a pill after the event simply doesn't work. It may mask the symptoms temporarily, but it will not cure the underlying cause. Supplements will help prevent ill health, and as such have and are continuing to make quite a dent in the sales of pharmaceutical drugs. Hence the effort by interested parties to try and discredit them. I remember being told about 12 years ago by a very credible source in the UK that in the previous year alone, that a consortium of pharmaceutical companies in the UK had spent £15 million with 3 UK PR firms just to dig up anything negative about supplements and get it out to the media in the form of news items. It was not possible for me to see the hard evidence for myself, but I have every reason to believe that the information was accurate. Many of the news items you see in the media and or on TV are not really news at all, but rather specific ready-made news releases packaged in such a way that it seems like news and are convenient and easy for the media to publish. These snippets are not limited to negative news about supplements, but can also appear as positive news for pharmaceutical drugs, perhaps promoting some promising new breakthrough, even though it would be years before the research and or trials are completed. These are prepared by the companies involved to increase share prices and for other financial reasons. Because of this, it is always important when hearing or viewing news on any particular issue that is of concern to you and relates to your health, that you do your own independent research on it before reaching a final conclusion. Now that you can understand why you cannot always believe what you see or read in the media when it comes to your health, I will move on to another area which also damages the perception of the benefits of supplements. And that is the supplement industry itself, or more specifically, certain people or companies in the industry. The overwhelming majority of the industry is responsible, ethical, and does the best they can to produce effective products for their customers. But as with any industry, there are companies within it who do not care about their customers and are purely focused on their profitability at the expense of the consumer. There are both manufacturers and marketers who fall into this category. The manufacturers are often those who mass-produce low-quality, cheap supplements and generally distribute them through supermarkets. Many of these supplements are totally useless and will often just pass through the body with no benefits. They should never be produced in the first place. Unfortunately, as with everything, it takes two to tango, and there are non-thinking consumers who continue to buy them. These low-quality supplements do a lot of damage to the industry because they certainly don't work. Now, some marketers also do a lot of damage to the industry. Some of the claims that are made are totally outrageous and are dishonest. Many of these marketers have very little risk in the industry because they contract the manufacture of their products and have no investment in plant, facilities, or people. Everything is outsourced, including their customer service and fulfillment. If they get shut down by the FTC or the FDA, they will start up under a different brand and name, so they have very little to lose. Apart from some of these products being of questionable value, some of the ingredients are not effective. To give you an example, let's take grapeseed extract, which is a very good ingredient. You may buy a product with grape skin extract, but as a consumer, what you will not be aware of is the enormous difference in effectiveness of ingredients with the same name. The difference could be as great as comparing an old Russian Lada car to a new Rolls-Royce. Now, still keeping with the grape skin extract example, most grape skin extracts are produced in China. There are about 20 actives in a natural grape skin, but in most of the grape skin extracts from China, there are only 4 actives because of the extraction methods and the source material. In contrast, the grape skin extract we source from New Zealand is the same as the actual grape skin with 20 actives. Now, why don't more manufacturers use the higher quality form? Simple answer: cost. As a manufacturer, you can pay 10 times more for the higher quality ingredient of the same name, and yet the supplement facts on the bottle will still read the same, i.e. grape skin extract. As a majority of supplement products on the market are produced by contract manufacturers, They will source the cheapest material that meets the specifications of the marketer. We pay the extra because our business principles are based on retention of long-term customers by only providing them with the very best. Besides, I and my family rely on our products for our own good health, and we will not compromise.
Well, I've always used some sort of health products, but since I started using Extend Life products, I've found that I've felt very good, and I've thought that they were a lot better than some of the previous ones I've used.
There's much more I could say about supplements and what you need to look out for when deciding what to use. And I'll talk to you further about this and how you should assess what you use for yourself and your family. I will, however, leave you with this thought. Taking quality supplements on a daily basis is not a luxury, but indeed an essential discipline if you are serious about avoiding or delaying illness and degenerative diseases. To help in making informed decisions about what supplements you should take, you really should make an effort to understand how they are made. The easiest way for this to happen is for me to give you a guided tour through our own Extend Life facility. Contrary to what some people will say in the media, the supplement industry is tightly regulated, although sadly there's still many companies who still do not comply with GMP protocols. Enforcement on manufacturing standards is still lacking, but government agencies are becoming more proactive in auditing production facilities, which is good news. In a later episode, I'll explain what type of supplements you should take for good foundational health and why. So, until next week, take care, and I will see you soon.